Hi guys, I'm here with Sierra Interactive. I'm here to answer all of your questions today with my first ever QA. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. Hi guys, I'm here with Sierra Interactive. I'm here to answer all of your questions today with my first ever QA. So I'm going to go ahead and share my. Let's see if we've got that going. Okay, so I'm going here. So we've got the page here. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is start with a few questions I've gotten this week. So I'm going to go ahead and go in as myself, and anyone who is in Facebook or in the Zoom, just throw in your questions, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys and answer any questions that you might have. Robert is also here to help me if there's any questions that might be better set for him. So I'm going to go ahead and go in. I think Meg is going to be the administrator. I've had a few questions this week on leads. So I wanted to show you guys a few tricks I've learned as to how to really narrow this down and get the most that you can from your dashboard. So one of the things that I thought was really cool that you guys might find interesting is this advanced search feature. So this goes into more than just your average searches. One of the things that people have been trying to figure out is if you have someone, one of your leads, for instance, you don't know if you've given them a contact recently or an email, you can always go in here and search by the last sent email, when the email was sent or not sent. And that's really proven pretty easy and a useful way, because then you can click this little check mark here, and it'll allow you to send massive emails to them, or text messages, voicemail drops, or even add them to the call list if, for instance, you haven't contacted them in a while. So that's really useful to have, and you'll want to use that feature so that you can really make sure that you don't have anyone fall through the cracks. So I'm going to go ahead here and check to see if I've got any questions here in either the Zoom or on Facebook. Throw any questions that you guys might have, be it on this or something else, if you'd like to get any of those answered here.
All right, Megan, so I'm monitoring Facebook for you, and Joe in Florida asks, how can I set up a specific drip for one agent only?
Okay, well, actually what you're going to want to do for that, there's different types of drip campaigns. There's going to be the drip campaign that's global or personal. So you can see right here the campaign level. We've got the business campaigns or personal. Whenever you're creating the drip, it should give you an option as to what type of campaign it's going to be right here on campaign level, business or personal. If you're currently a project manager or a manager level user, you will want to emulate them first, which you can do with the drop down and emulate user, so that you can go ahead and set it up as their own personal campaign. Did that answer your question?
So Joe, just for a little bit more context, if you have any agent level users who try and create a drip campaign, and they're not able to see that functionality, there's a site permission that we can enable for you on the Sierra end that will allow your agent level users to create their own personal drip campaigns. And when that permission is turned on, then they'll see this option to be able to create a drip campaign just for themselves. But I'm going to take it another step for you. So just real quick, if your agent level users don't see that, then make sure to reach out to support@sierrainteractive.com. We can turn that on for you. Next level stuff, once you do that, Joe, Megan, go ahead and go to leads and go to action plans. And I don't know if it's here or not. Go to action plan settings. I just can't remember exactly where it is.
Yep,
Okay.
it's right here.
Yeah, that's for our personal action plans, but go to, it may just automatically. So go to, in the upper right, Megan, on your, click on there and go to lead routing settings. And here you'll see this is lead routing settings. This is a new feature we released within the last month and a half or so. But when you have that permission for drip campaigns turned on, then in your individual lead routing rules, you can actually choose to have an agent, like if that agent gets that lead, you can have it set so that the agent assigns their own personal drip campaign in that lead routing rule. The agent can come to their lead routing settings, come here, and modify any of the options that they have available to them to be able to put in their own personal stuff. And if they don't want it, they don't have like a Zillow specific drip campaign, for example, they could have a default drip campaign that displays down below. All right. So Megan, I'm going to give you some more questions from Facebook. Don asks, how can I tie new leads that come into my Sierra to download into Top Producer? All right, so I'll just tell you, Don, I think that would be a great question for support at sierrainteractive.com. I think that we've interacted about that issue in the past. So go ahead and reach out to support at sierrainteractive.com. All right, Kevin asks, curious if you have any trusted third-party workers to help build out a deep website and create tons of pages, i.e. cities, communities, neighborhoods, and etc. Need some added help to speed up the build out. Well, Megan, do you have anything you'd suggest for Kevin or anybody like him who wants to build out their website more quickly?
I've actually spoke about this with Ben a little bit, and I think that there may be something in the future that we might offer with that, but I don't have anything right now as far as trusted third parties to build that out sooner. But I would, in the very far future, we may end up being able to have these trusted third-party solutions here. But we do have, other things that, if you have a question, or for instance, if you want to duplicate a page and change the page content to fit a neighborhood, that's a useful way for you to get these content built out really fast. And so just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, if you go to content pages, and you're looking at, let's say, a specific community, like Butchertown here, you can hit this duplicate button and adjust it so that this Butchertown could really act as a template for your other communities as well. Okay, do we have any other questions there, Robert?
We do. Patrick in Florida asks, how can I search by MLS number to search leads interested or view a specific listing? So this question is basically like to find anybody in the platform that's looked at a specific listing. So there's a couple things we can look at, Megan. Number one, if you can go to lead routing rules and show how you can actually route leads by specific MLS number first.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the ways that you can, I'm going to be honest, when I first started working here, this was my favorite feature. So for lead criteria, you can use if MLS number equals, and then you just enter the MLS number here, and you can go through a specific action plan based on that, which is really useful if you have like a single property site or a listing that you're really trying to push. You could have personalized data or personalized messages go out based on this particular MLS number.
So the next thing I would go ahead and take, Patrick, anybody else who's interested in this, go to the lead dashboard and run an advanced search.
Yep.
And I'm not certain that there's going to be, because I think what Patrick's asking for is a feature that we just don't have in the way that probably you're hoping that we will. But let's see if we've got anything in terms of anything related to MLS number, right?
I think I see, so like I see address. That's potential.
Yeah, try, if you can stop right there for just one moment. Let's see, phone number, source. Okay, go down just a little bit beyond that, and let's go down just a little bit. So let's try like, yeah. So I don't think you're going to be able to dial in. Patrick, in fact, if you're in the mastermind group, if you'll go in and search the group for a language related to this kind of thing, you'll see this conversation having taken place before. It's something that's on our radar and not currently something we offer. Kevin, same advice I'd give to you is go ahead and search the Facebook group or post in the Facebook group that very question you asked about trusted third parties. You're not the first person to come up on this kind of an issue where you're wanting to build out your site more and more, but you would prefer to spend time helping people transact real estate properties. Got it. There will be, I'm certain, some folks who will be able to jump in and let you know about what they did to help build out their site more and more. All right. Okay.
Okay, do we have any other questions?
Not currently, but I've got a tip for you, Megan, about how you can coax more questions. A couple tips. Number one is let's start talking about landing the plane. And let's talk about some of the ways that folks can get support and more help going forward.
Okay, so we have a few ways that you can reach out to support. One of the ways is tickets. You can submit a ticket to us via support@sierrainteractive.com. We're also available over the phone, and that's going to be from 9 a.m. Eastern Time to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if we don't have any additional questions, we can go ahead and start closing this out. I just want to give everybody an opportunity. If you do have any questions about any of the things we discussed or any other topic for that matter within Sierra, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Kevin has a follow-up question that asks anything we should keep in mind about Sierra Summit. Now I'm happy to field this one just because I've been more involved than Megan in the organization of it. Sierra Summit, March 4th, 2020. You can buy your tickets now. Kevin, I don't know if you've purchased your ticket yet or not. Hopefully you have. And if not, you can buy them now at sierrainteractive.com. If you scroll down just a little bit, there's a little advert there for Sierra Summit 2020. You can purchase multiple tickets at once. You don't have to do one by one. Everybody that's on your team would be welcome. We would love to have you. It's here in Louisville at the historic Seelbach Hotel, full day event. It's on a Wednesday. We're going to even have an after party, so that day will stretch out into the evening. Awesome speakers and confirmed speakers, topics. If you go into the announcement section in the mastermind group, you'll see a recent post where we dripped out some of those, teased out some of those speakers and topics as well. So I'd be sure to check that out. Ernest has a follow-up and says the agenda coming out soon. So the very thing you just said, Ernest, just go to the announcement section, look at a recent announcement. It's got some of the speakers generally, as well as the speakers specifically, the topics generally. I just will say, and I mentioned this before, but every single topic title that we've come up with so far, the subtitle starts with how to. So this is going to be a very practical, takeaway oriented one-day event designed exclusively for Sierra clients. We've been very happy with the number of folks who've already signed up. And this registration continues, and we'd love to see you there. So we'd love for you to purchase tickets now. And I would be remiss not to mention that if you're wondering about value with time and money in terms of coming for a one-day event, not to worry. There's another conference Thursday and Friday of that week, the following 2 days, March 5th and 6th, same venue. A group that we've partnered with the last, I think, couple years. They're in their third year now, and that is Real Estate Distilled. If you type in Real Estate Distilled in your browser, realestateDistilled.com, you'll be able to find out more information about Real Estate Distilled. So go ahead and come for both conferences. Their conference is going to be a little bit more open. Everybody in real estate profession interested in these types of things will be invited, whereas the Sierra Summit's really devoted specifically for our client base, Sierra client base. So Kevin, you said planning on flying in a couple of days early. Anyone want to get together and do some sharing, since a lot of us are monkey see, monkey do learners? Absolutely. Last year before the Real Estate Distilled, we hadn't done a Sierra Summit. This is the very first one that we'll be doing this year. We did have a gathering here at the Sierra Interactive headquarters, and I wouldn't be shocked to see us do that very kind of thing again. And there's always just love for masterminds at this kind of a thing. So Kevin, have at it and start getting people involved and wanting to do it. I think lots of folks will love to be able to join up with you. All right, so there is another question. Megan Scott asks, Scott asks, content labels I think are hard for people to figure out at first. Can you go over those? You want to talk about content labels?
So content labels. I'm actually kind of not sure what that's referring to. Robert, you want to help me out?
Yeah, I can help you. So go to content and go to content pages. So this is pretty cool. Like if you want to pull in, let's say you've got 100 content pages. Let's say you've got 100 community pages. And maybe it's all the hippest neighborhoods in Louisville. So you've got Scott's cul-de-sac, of course, and then you've got like, you know, maybe Butchertown where the Sierra Interactive headquarters is located. Maybe you've got, you know, St. Matthews and what have you. You've got these individual neighborhoods that you want to pull in to a meta content page that's going to say, hey, this content page is about how cool these cool Louisville neighborhoods are about. Go ahead and click either any of the links below to be able to learn more about these hip neighborhoods that I've just mentioned. And you can pull in links using content labels onto that content page. So let's go ahead and just go to, if you scroll down just a little bit, Megan, grab the content, either the second or the third Butchertown page there. Just go ahead and click to edit it. And you will simply go to, let's see, right there. You can add, it's essentially like tags, content labels are. You're just tagging these items. So maybe we want to add a content label for hip neighborhood. So we'll add a content label, hip neighborhood, and we'll click on submit. And now this content page has been tagged or given the label of hip neighborhood. And now you can go to another content page. So let's go back out to content, go to content pages. You can go ahead and go and apply all the content label hip neighborhood to whatever content pages you want to pull in. And then let's go down a little bit to go ahead and grab, let's keep going. Go ahead and grab that featured listings right there.
The first one?
Second one.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and grab that. And if you scroll on down to the very bottom, Megan, so a little bit higher than that, sorry about that. Go ahead and click on Add New Page Component. And this gives you all the different components that you can add to your content page. So recently, my 3.5 going on 4-year-old son and I went and bought our first like bigger boy Legos. So all the little pieces we got to keep away from his little sister. We got this the city theme fire plane. It's pretty cool. And also this little fire truck that shoots out waters, as well as a little forest, couple forest pieces, and a skunk that goes in there. Things get on fire and you come and drop water on it. It's pretty neat. The content labels are kind of like Lego pieces. Cool thing about Legos is that you can deconstruct everything and reconstruct it in a different way. So all you're doing when you're building out content pages, when you add components, imagine those being like individual Lego pieces that you're adding to a content page, and then you can sort page components, which is just moving around their order. So you can add a new page component, pull in this, for example, hip neighborhood, give it even a name, and then what it will then do, let's go ahead and just do it. The best, yeah, whatever. Sorry we didn't get to that content page called Scott's Cul-de-sac and put hip neighborhood on there, but let's go ahead and save and view. Let's go ahead and, yeah, whatever.
I don't even know. The.
Okay, save and view. A hot meta title. Okay,
that's not going to get your SEO anywhere.
Yeah, so the reason why this one didn't pull in is because I had you add the tag to, or the label to a content page that's on hold. But you'd see that right here at the top where it says featured listings, it would just put a little link and it would be like Butchertown if the page that we'd added to was not on hold but actually active. So anyway, that's the way that content labels work. All right. Patrick, you asked in Facebook, where can we purchase it at? I looked while the tickets were less and couldn't find it. I think what you're referring to is the Sierra Summit tickets. If you go to sierrainteractive.com, go ahead and just open up sierrainteractive.com, Megan. and scroll down just a little bit.
I think it's...
Keep going, just one more. And right here on the right-hand side, you've got Sierra Summit 2020. We did make multiple posts about this in our private mastermind group with links to this page. Also, we included it, and we did a separate standalone email just related to this to our primary manager and manager level email list. So hopefully you did get notes about that with links to this. But this is where you can find it now. Early bird registration is over. That has gone and passed. It has quote unquote flown the coop, but these tickets are still available and certainly would suggest that you grab them now. You are welcome, good sir, Patrick.
Okay, do we have any other questions, or is it time to start landing the plane again?
Well, sometimes when you land, you come back up. Here we are. We started to land, then we came back up. We're happy to do. That's the point, is to see if there's anybody who has any additional questions. All right, Josh Painter asks, Josh in Florida. I think you're in Florida, Josh. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. He says, how do I make an invisible page? And I don't know if this is a setup to a joke, Josh.
Do you mean
if you could tell me a little bit more about what you mean. If you're talking about, hey, it didn't apply that content label, it's just because when you create a content page, it's either active or on hold, and it was on hold. It just means that, front end site, you can't see it. Okay, he says that I can use in a video lead capture ad. All right, so this is something that Megan may or may not be aware of, but we do have the ability to turn on flip a switch for you, a permission that will make a page password protected. That may be something, and then in each individual content page, you can make it so that it's password protected. That might be what you're after. Other than that, I would suggest simply creating a URL, like a file name that would be unlinked from anywhere else on the site. And you could, it's going to be difficult to find. But yeah, he says that I don't want everyone to see. So I would definitely suggest just doing the password protected. You can email support@sierrainteractive.com and say, can you enable the password protection feature for my content pages? And we'll be able to do that for you.
And there is also a way, if you guys, I don't know if you're aware, it won't make it completely invisible, but you do have an option to make the page to where it's not visible in the menus. So they don't necessarily have to be within the main nav windows. And if you have any problems with that depending on where it's currently located, that might be a good question to ask support, because we want to make sure if it's in main nav section or what it's in, to show you how to do that.
So Patrick has a follow-up and says, can't you take it out of the directory? I just think that probably what the best case for Josh will be to just do the password protected. All right, Kevin asks, so I have to build thousands upon thousands of community/content pages. Any other ideas than just duplicating, since I am in a bigger metro area? Absolutely, Kevin. I would just suggest, as I mentioned before, go ahead and post this into the mastermind group. This is exactly the kind of thing that the mastermind group is for. It's a best practices group for you to share best practices, for others to share their best practices, for you all to learn from one another. So I think that if you were to say, hey, has anybody worked with a third party that's done this well? I think that you'll get some responses, and then you can take those and sift through them with discernment and make a good decision for yourself.
Yeah, I'm certain that someone has a VA somewhere that will help you with this.
All right, Scott asks, can we no index, and this is probably related to Patrick's question, can we no index a page so it doesn't show up in the sitemap? I think so. I think each individual content page, you can just set it to no index. Yeah. All right, Kevin has another follow-up. Anyway, just to just do a CSV import somehow, not for content. There's not going to be a great way to do it, Kevin. I just think your best case will be to post it to the mastermind group and get some feedback from others. This is not going to be a great way to seamlessly, just magically create a ton of content pages for your site. But it would be nice if we could.
Do we have any more questions?
I'm monitoring there for you, Megan. I'm looking.
Yeah.
Not seeing any come in though, Megan.
If you guys have any questions on, like I said, anything that we've covered or anything that you just are curious about, definitely drop it in there. We'll be more than happy to answer them. This is your opportunity. I know a lot of you people have amazing questions, and I get them in support all the time. And if you've had the question, I'm sure someone else has, so we can all benefit from it.
Believe it or not, probably someone else has had that question. All right. Cindy asks, Cindy, I think that you're in Dallas. Dallas, DFW, yes. Okay. Cindy says, is there a way to own the phone numbers the system is using? If I ever left, could I take them? So they're talking about Sierra Dialer.
I believe you are allowed to take them. These are purchased through Twilio, and so if you end up leaving Sierra, which I certainly hope you never do, but that number is really yours to take with you. And Twilio is a really great provider. I've worked with them for several years now. They're very versatile in what all the most dialer text message companies, most of those will allow you to import those.
Right. There is a process to follow, and if that day ever did come, Cindy, you can port that number out. You just have to follow a set process. Jeffrey, I think, undersells you a little bit, Megan. He says Megan is so ready to land this plane. Is that true?
No, I actually was hoping more people would have questions, to be honest. I think that that there's a great opportunity for us to learn from each other and have that fearless person come forward with their question.
Mm-hmm. Scott asks, what is your vector, Victor? Let's see if you get that one, Megan.
Victor, I have no clue what that is. And Robert's laughing, so it has to be something he gets.
Yeah, it's a movie, Airplane. All right. Cindy says, not planning on leaving ever, just covering bases. Cindy, I understand. It's a peace of mind. I hope you can sleep better tonight, knowing that you could indeed port your numbers out if you ever needed to, but you don't. Jeffrey gives a nice follow-up of ha. All right. Are there any additional questions? Because we can be here all day. We will literally be here all day if you continue to have questions.
That is quite true. And it does give me a little bit of a break from the everyday. Love that. Okay.
All right, I think we may want to wrap up there.
Sounds like we're good to go here. So guys, do not forget that if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@sierrainteractive.com. We're also available over the phone. Again, that's 9 a.m. Eastern time to 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Even if it's something that you don't think we support, it doesn't hurt to ask. So I hope you guys got a lot from this, and I hope you have a fantabulous rest of your day.
See you later. Have a good one.